Now, what about writes? We have, like, so far we have only concentrated on our discussion about how to read and how the cache works in the reading. What about writes? And writing is also important, right? Sometimes we do this. And note that, with the same data, we have, like, we have the multiple copy. We have a copy in level one cache, we have a copy in level two, we have a copy in main memory, and we may also have a copy on the disk. Okay, so we are basically duplicating, you're photocopying things, and when you, like, it's not just photocopying, but when you update it, then it means that the update should be done to ensure that it's all coherent. Okay, so there are, like, so we will see, we will discuss now the strategies to do to handle this in the cache context. First, we have what do we do when we have a write hit? Write hit means the following: you have, in the case, like, in the right head, you want to write into a memory location. Okay, you have an address, you want to write into that, and that particular line is in the cache. What do you do? Okay, so there are two strategies for this. One is write through. Okay, okay. The other one is write back. Write through is the following: in the write through, you write both onto the cache. Remember that, these are the same copies of things. Just draw this here. Okay. So remember that, this particular data here. Okay, it's a copy of the lower level, right? In this case, in the write through, you update your cache. Okay, but you also write into the lower level, or what you call as the main memory. Okay, this is write through. And then there is the write back. And in the write back case, whenever we have basically write hit, yeah, sorry for this. Okay. Whenever we have a write hit here, you update the value in here. But note that, the value that was here, now this is old. Okay, this is outdated. So in this case, with these in the write back implementation, in your line, remember that we had this line, right? In which we had this, data here, and then we had the tag here, and we had the valid bit, right? And then along with the valid bit, we also include what we call a dirty bit. Okay, dirty bit. And the dirty bit tells that initially, it tells you whether that particular cached data is modified after it's brought into the memory or not. Okay, if it's zero, it means that, the same copy is also available at the lower level, which means that you can discard it and not lose any information. But when we do it in the write back case, then we also set, when we do this, then you set this write bit to 1. And when we need to kick this particular line, which we will need because, eventually when you bring this together, then you have to overwrite them. Then you basically let me draw this here. Then you update it later, okay, at the lower level. This is called write back. The writing at the lower level takes place later in the time. Okay. What about a write miss? A write miss is you want to write into an address, okay? But that particular address is not in the cache yet, okay? And in this case, there's no need to bring it back from the memory, right? Because, even if I bring this into the memory, I have to be, again, writing on it. So we have, again, two strategies for this. One is write allocate, okay? And in the write allocate, what you do is you you allocate, like, if it's a whole, of course there's this issue that, if the block size is larger than what you're going to write, then you load it into your cache, and you update the line. Okay, you update your line in the cache. Okay, which is good if you're, for example, going to write at the same location, later. You can imagine, for example, when you are updating, say, some temporary variable like sum plus equals etc. Okay, which initially you declared, and after that you'll be writing over and over. Then you can then do a write allocate, and then all the writes will then be done in the cache. The other option is no write allocate. In this case, whenever I have this, then you don't bring it into the memory, but you immediately write into the main memory. Okay. Typically, in these places, when they tell you what type of cache that you're using, then tell you basically if it's write through cache, write back cache, and etc. And the typical way is that it's write back and write allocate. This is more common. The other option is write through and no write allocate, but this is more common in